What's going on, guys? I'm back with another one. Yes. I just finished watching a movie called The Little Things, starring Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto. First of all, Denzel Washington. I remember far back when this man had hit movie after hit movie after hit movie. From movies like Ricochet, Malcolm X, Man on Fire, and Training Day. Training Day was the one for him. Training Day was the game changer. He went from playing the good guy all the time to playing that villain you love to hate. Right. Then this man goes off and does a movie called The Equalizer. Now, while The Equalizer wasn't a bad movie, necessarily, very entertaining, lots of action, it really lacked a lot of realistic points to it. Alright, and it's a movie, so it's not supposed to be realistic, of course. But even for those standards, it was very ridiculous. Alright. He never once got touched in that movie. Except for the time he touched himself. No. The time he hurt himself. He had a self-inflicted wound. That was it. That was the only wound he suffered through the whole movie. What was that? And then they decided to make a Equalizer 2. Needless to say, I didn't watch that, and I feel like I made the right choice. All right, I feel like I'm not missing anything. And I might check to see if I was missing something, but I'm sure I wasn't. All right. So now we're here with The Little Things. All right. This movie, to me, seems like he might be going back to his roots. A time where he made good, substantial movies. Do I have the right hunch? Or do I not? We're about to find out. The Little Things. For those who don't know, for those who are not aware, and that's probably because you don't have HBO Max. I told you to get this program. Get it while you can. That's because this came straight to HBO Max, streamed straight to it the same day that it went to theaters. But I just feel like if you're just going by the theaters, you're not going to know because it really wasn't hyped up like that. So I guess if you don't know, now you know. The words of a great man, right? The Little Things. It's pretty much about a detective named Detective Deke, who was praised for his style of solving crimes. The way he investigated things was like no other. Just a very weird style of it. And, he was, people loved him for this. But he did so well that he let one case ruin his entire life. He went in too deep. To the point, it ruined his marriage. And it cost him a spot on the police force. All right, he was kicked completely off of that force. And now they're letting him back in at a lower level, of course. And his original spot was taken by Detective Dexter, played by Rami Malek. They don't hit it off that well when they first meet because, Detective Dexter is getting at him about a parking space or whatever. So he seems like somewhat of an a-hole. But, it is what it is. Then these murders start happening. Women start dying. Women start missing. This is somewhat familiar or similar to the case that ruined Detective Deke's life. And those feelings and those memories start coming back. And let's just say Deke and Rami Dexter start to get really involved in this case. All right, that's the premise of the movie. You shall see the rest. All right, positives. The style in which Detective Deke did what he did was very interesting. It made me question, is that protocol? You know what I'm saying? He would sleep at the scene of the crime. He would get in the bed, lay down, and take a nap all night. That's how deep he got into his work. Okay, it was a bit disturbing. It was a bit disturbing, not gonna lie, but it was different. I never seen any other detective in any other murder mystery do this. So that was interesting within itself. All right, another thing that I liked about this, the soundtrack. The soundtrack, it did what soundtracks haven't done in a while. It's been done before, but it was where the music would emulate what was going on in the scene. All right, and it had a lot of the 1950s, 1940s style music, 1930s, whatever. And so, like when there was a car chase, there would be a song about someone getting chased, and it was so beautifully done. So I respect that. I love that part of the movie. I love a good soundtrack. You know I do. Also, the visuals. The visuals, or should I say the visions? The visions that Detective Deke saw when he was investigating or doing his work. He would see the dead bodies of the women murdered, but it was like they would still be alive. Like they were undead. Like he was in the bed, and he would see one woman at the edge of the bed just staring at him. You know, and then he would see the other victims in the closet or whatever far off. And it would show you how deep he was in this case and how he still wasn't over the last case. So he had a lot of issues. He had a lot of issues going on there. All right. Also, Jared Leto's character in this movie. Now, keep in mind, when I watch a murder mystery, I deem everybody guilty until I see the end of the movie. So yes, the detectives, everybody in here is a suspect to me. All right, so don't think that I'm saying this and that. No, I think everybody in this movie is a suspect. And needless to say, Jared Leto's character was one of them. But he was more of like a crime fanatic. He was a crime scene fanatic. He was very much into the serial killers, and he did his homework, and he studied these serial killers like Dahmer and Ted Bundy. And he knew a lot about them. And he knew how the police worked around this and how they investigated these people. He knew what would come next and all this. So him involving himself in this, he felt in his own sick way that he was helping them find the real murderer. All right. And I liked his attitude in this because he was very sarcastic, a very dark sense of humor. And I think every time his character came on, it made things very, very entertaining for me. And it lit up the scene. It lit everything up for me. It's a weird thing to say, right? But, for his character. But he stood out. Jared Leto stood out. He's known for that. He's known for making characters stand out. Anybody, any kind of character. Okay, he did that. All right. One more positive that I had respect for with this, and this is one I really had respect for, was the ending. I had respect for it. Note that even though there's another way that I thought this should have ended, they ended it in a way that I don't think I ever witnessed in a murder mystery. Or they've never no other murder mystery really ever touched. They may have touched this half of it, but they didn't get to the other side of that. And I can't say because that'll, that course I'd give away the ending, right? But the way that they ended it, it was very different. And I give them their props for at least attempting to do that, what they did. Let's get into those negatives, please. All right. First negative involves a character. Rami Malek as Detective Dexter. He did not fit the role. Now, let me say this. I have never seen a Rami Malek project or anything with him in it. I missed out on Queen, the Queen movie. I did not see Mr. Robot. Didn't watch that. I might go see the new Bond movie coming out. He's going to be a Bond villain. I'm definitely going to go check that out. But this is my first time actually witnessing a project with him in it. All right. And while, of course, he definitely probably is a great actor. I'm sure in other projects and other things that he's done, he's a splendid actor. I'm sure of it. But for this role, he did not fit this role. Okay. He seems like the type of guy who plays that one certain type of person. All right. He's just a particular type of character. He looks odd. He has an odd look to him. I'm not trying to be mean or anything. He has an odd look. He definitely, look at him. Look at Rami. Look at him. Does he look like a normal husband with a lovely family who's normal? No, he's not normal. He's not that normal guy. So this role didn't fit. This role did not fit him at all. I did. And every time his character came on, it was strange, and I didn't like the way he talked. He had a tight mouth. No, I'm sure he doesn't talk like that. Okay, so yeah, that didn't fit me well, or him. One of my biggest negatives for this. The way it ended. Now, I know I said I had respect for it, but that was a respect for it. The way it should have ended, it would have made the movie a whole lot edgier. It would have been a whole lot edgier if it had ended the way that I think it should have ended. All right. And I know a lot of you murder mystery heads, when you watch this, you too will be like, what happened? What? I don't get, why did they go this route? Some of you will be like that. I understood why they went that route, but it doesn't mean that it's a good route. Okay? It can disappoint a lot of people watching this movie. Because the rest of the movie, the beginning of the movie, like builds and leads you up to something that you think you're going to get. But then you don't get it. You don't get it. You don't get that prize. Not what you think you're going to get. Some people will love the ending. Some people might love it. You never know. But a majority of you will be thrown off and a little let down. Okay? I was a little let down. I had my own idea of what should have happened. And it didn't. But I commend them for being different once again. And with that, I have to say this was an aight cool. Okay, yes, an aight cool. Just because of that ending. If it wasn't for that ending, I think this would have been something I would want to watch again. Not saying that it's a bad, horrible movie. It's not. But when you see the end, it's just a letdown. Like, why would I watch it again? Why would I watch it again? I recommend that you watch it at least once to see what I'm talking about. Because besides that, it's good film. It's a good film, right? It's a decent film, which is why it got what it got. It is great. The acting is great. You know, everybody does their part. There are no weak links when it comes to the acting. I mean, you got a knockout cast here. All right. But it's just that ending. That ending is what sold it all. Press that like button, share this, and subscribe to my channel. and I'll be